Hello! So this is my first video on my channel. I think I'd made this channel last year, but life happened and I didn't get to post anything. I'm a really big believer that you should believe in beautiful things happening. You should find silver linings, and that broken people are where God's light can shine through. If you're perfect, then you can't see God. So it's through our brokenness that His beauty can shine through us. So that's kind of where the title of Sunlight Through the Trees came from. And so that's my mini introduction, which I probably should do an actual introduction video, but anyways. I wanted to do a first trimester kind of, I guess it would be an update. I am 15 weeks and 4 days, I believe, when I'm recording this, excuse me, and who knows when I will actually get this up, but hopefully fairly soon. So there's a few things I wanted to talk about. When I was 15 weeks, which is obviously second trimester, the baby's the size of an avocado. So that's kind of what we're dealing with right now. We have a baby, you know, kind of like the size of my hand. I guess the length of my hand. So that's kind of cool. I just can't even believe it's that big, but it's also extra exciting today because I went for a visit with my midwife and we heard the heartbeat for the first time today. So I'm kind of like, oh, but I want to save that for another update. So you'll have to stay tuned for more fun info on that. I did not say this in our announcement video that we are pregnant, that we are due. I think I put it in the description, but we are actually due in October. So should be a fun fall for us. Yeah, so I found out the end of January, beginning of February, and we were very surprised. But on our trip to Florida, which apparently I was pregnant for, I was like so exhausted, like I wanted a nap, which is not really typical of me. I didn't really think anything of it because I was exhausted and I was just like, dude, I gotta go to sleep. And Isaac was like, what is wrong with you? You never need to sleep during the day. So second thing that happened was, besides me eating a lot and being hungry quite a bit, was that I actually checked my eyes. I also talked about this briefly in my thing. I'll link that. I'll put that here, wherever side it goes. From our family, my actual family channel. But I had looked in the bottom of my eyes, and I don't know if you can see that, but there's a Y in both sides. And I was like, oh my goodness, there's a Y in both sides. So I started wondering, because I had missed my period by a day or two. And so I started questioning, because I was like, I have Ys, I've missed my period, I'm hungry, Isaac says I'm sleepy. Apparently I fell asleep on him a couple times. He's talking to me and I was like, I was out. So I'm like, all these things were adding up. So that's why about a week or so after we got back, I took a pregnancy test. Thus it began. Some of the symptoms in my first trimester, it was quite a bit rougher than my pregnancy with Josiah. Sorry, I'm out of breath from running around. So that's been a bit rough because if anyone knows me, I love baking, I love cooking, and basically for 2 months I did zip. The smell of cooking, standing cooking, the smell of the house when someone else was cooking wasn't good. It was very bad. I hated it and it made me sick. The smell of fat, especially. Driving past a fast food restaurant, I would just be like all the time. Oh, man, the amount of gagging and choking and almost throwing up that I have done and I continue to do. Not so much from nausea anymore, but because I've been sick with like a cold for 3 weeks and I get like phlegm, or mucus in the back of my throat, and it triggers because my gag reflex is so easily, whatever the word is, easily triggered. So it takes like a little tiny piece of mucus in the back of my throat and boom, I'm like over the sink trying to stop myself from throwing up, and it's exhausting to live like this. My body doesn't love citrus fruit, I guess I should say, so I often get a little bit more mucusy with that. And so sometimes I'll have a smoothie and it had an orange in it or something, and then boom, I'm like gagging and choking, and can you tell I'm annoyed? It's pretty annoying. It's a good thing there's something coming after that's worth. Okay, obviously exhausted all the time. And when I went to get my blood work done, they discovered that I had super low iron. I think it's supposed to be around 120 or something, and I think I had 103, which doesn't sound like that big of a difference, but my midwife was basically like, you have got to start taking iron and pronto and fast and get this control before, she's like, we're gonna have a disaster on our hands. So I've been taking liquid iron Floridix since then. I'm trying to think, I guess it'll be around 11 weeks. And I was actually taking iron before I even got my blood work done, because I had gone to my natural doctor and was told the same thing, that my iron was low. So I've been taking 20 mils of Floridix with her, and then my midwife told me she wanted me to take 40. Now you're supposed to take either 10 mils 4 times a day or 20 mils twice a day. You can take 40 altogether, but it's quite, like, iron can be quite constipating. Iron can be quite strong tasting, and trying to get it down can be very difficult. I mean, let's face it, it tastes like blood. Okay, so I put my shot in a cup, and then I do a full shot of water, and then I do probably about 4 to 6 ounces of like citrus juice. It helps. Apparently it's best to take it with citrus juice. So then I take that, which of course, as I've told you, citrus juice can cause other problems, which is fun. I've also been taking the supplement Yellow Dock. My sister-in-law told me about it, and I asked my midwife, and she said it would be a great idea because it helps your absorption with iron. And I was just like, if I'm not absorbing all this iron that I'm torturing myself with taking, I'm like, what's the point? Like, I don't want to take 40 mils. It's very expensive, and only getting 20 in my body, like only absorbing 20. So I decided it'd be really wise to start taking Yellow Dock. I feel a lot better. I feel a lot less tired, a lot less exhausted, a lot less weepy now that my iron seems to be coming up a little bit. I haven't done another blood test yet, but I think I will be doing one, I think it's next month. Do you know how hard it is? Like, so many times I'll like eat a piece of cheese and I'm like, can't take my iron. Or I'll make a smoothie and I put yogurt in and I'm like, can't take my iron. Or, you know, you eat a dessert and it has had some cream cheese in it. You can't take the iron for another 2 hours after you have eaten it. So let's say, like, because I work until 7, we often don't eat supper until 7:30 or 8, sometimes on bad nights. So as you can imagine, you know, suddenly it's 8:45 and Isaac's like, oh, let's have some ice cream. And I don't even think about it. And then I realized that I have to wait until almost 11, or sometimes 11 or 11:30 that I need to take my iron. So that's really annoying because I'm really trying to get to bed before then. I feel like that was a long saga about iron, so sorry about that. Tender breasts was pretty bad first trimester, seems to be plateauing out. It's not that bad anymore. When we went to our last appointment, I think it was around 11 weeks. Yeah, because if I'm 15, it would be around 11. And we couldn't get a heartbeat. She couldn't find a heartbeat. And I would have been, like, I mean, of course, it's unsettling. It's not, I wasn't hugely nervous about it. I love my new midwife. I should do a last pregnancy thing because let me tell you, it's a gong show. My last birth was, I mean, I am a bit nervous about this upcoming birth because my last birth was so horrendous. and it was just a nightmare. It was basically the worst day, and obviously it ended up being the best day because I got my baby, but it was probably the worst day of my life. So maybe I'll make a video of that. But yeah, so it was a little bit unnerving not to hear the heartbeat, but exciting is that 10 weeks, 5 days, 10 weeks, 5 days, I felt the baby move. So I told my midwife, I was like, I'm actually not that nervous, because she told me she'd give me a requisition so I could go get an ultrasound if I felt like it was going to cause me unease and I'd be worried about it. And I was like, I'm not, because I have felt the baby. And I know it's super early, like most people are incredulous that I could feel the baby this early, and I only felt it twice, and then I didn't feel it for another week and a half. I didn't feel it again. But now I feel the baby about every 2 to 3 days. And it's very subtle, and yeah, I can feel it. It's pretty exciting. Well, I realized that this is not the most wonderful first trimester update of all time, but I did want to put some stuff down. I have been trying to record some stuff, and so yeah, let me know if there's anything else you want to know for my next update. I think I'm gonna try to do monthly updates from now on, now that we actually know what's going on. One thing I did want to talk about, because I did talk about this briefly in here comes Josiah. Mommy's recording, okay?
I love you.
I love you too. That I talked briefly about in our announcement video was that I had started using some essential oil that's supposed to help regulate your hormones. And I love the name of it. It's called Dragon Time. And if you can't figure out why it's called Dragon Time, PMS, Dragon Time, you know. Anyways, I started using it in the middle of December, and I was pregnant in less than a month. I am not going to say it's because of this oil or something, that it's a miracle oil and it got me pregnant. Obviously, I have no proof of that. What I can tell you is that if you watched our announcement video, which you haven't, you should go watch it. Is that I had very irregular periods ever since I had Josiah. They got worse and worse and worse, actually. They were horrendous after I started getting it, which was around 9 months postpartum. Then when as I continuously happened, like it's been, guys, it's been like 5 years since I was pregnant. And up until this point, my cycle's so weird. I have no idea what's going on. Anyways, in December, so I start using, here's the oil, and I start using this oil, and my period jumped a week, and I was just like, what the heck happened? But then I was like, interesting, because my period has been so weird, and the week it jumped to was when it used to be. And it was so strange to me that it jumped a week and then I got pregnant. So I do think there is something possibly that this did, in that it didn't get me pregnant, but it helped balance my hormones so that my body could get pregnant, which is pretty awesome if that's what happened. I'll put a link to this if you want to check it out or read some more information on it. Hello, Josiah. But anyways, I think that's it for my first trimester update. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to put a like on it and subscribe if you want to see the rest of my updates and don't want to miss them. You can also hit the little bell so that you will get notified of your subscription, and then you'll never miss one of my updates. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Let me know down below your story of your first trimester, if it was good, if you found it easy, if you found it hard, and any other questions you have for me to answer my next update. Bye, guys.